Hello everyone, and here we are for another episode of the Lewis Hamilton career mode. As you can tell by my voice, I feel a lot better today and not feeling as rough as I was a couple of episodes ago. Anyway, here we are for round number 2, guys, at the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. If you haven't missed the season opener in Bahrain, go check it out. Link in the top right for that one. Spoiler warning ahead, so go watch it. But here we go. Let's start off the episode with the fallout from that previous race. Now, we had a bit of a poor qualifying and we had a good race, and we recovered after starting, I believe, P8 or P9 and finished in second place behind Max Verstappen. So we do outscore Lando in our teammate rivalry early on, and we also gain on our driver stats once again. No change to the recognition as we then move over to the specialist, and I didn't select any for the last episode, and the change was minimal, so we'll kind of keep rolling with that trend. You can see here we're not really hurting too badly, so we're gonna again select no specialists for this weekend. As we jump into upgrades, I was gonna go for the wheel rim covers, but the side pod profile, the next one up, is actually available to us to purchase, so we're going to get that first and then we'll come back to the previous upgrade afterwards. Now we arrive at Jeddah, and again the new chip kicks into play, balancing out the field, and Red Bull have to take the pain. They have to basically have an upgrade removed at random by the game. So the forecast is dry, and when it comes down to the R&D chart, Red Bull's downgrade from the previous episode has meant Mercedes have now jumped to the top. So Red Bull will take another hit heading into Australia, and then Mercedes, as they're now number 1, they'll take a hit heading into the next one in Japan after that. So there's kind of like a one race delay on the kind of knock-on effect of this kind of, chip we've chosen for season 3, but it's starting to take effect. So we jump into practice as usual, doing our race runs.
Okay, test complete, and that was a really good job indeed. We got a lot of valuable information out of that. Well done.
And it was extremely successful. We had tyre wear that was bang on the money, literally exactly where you want it, and race fuel below what I expected to run, and we actually got quicker and quicker and quicker each lap except the last one. So good pace, good consistency, good tyre duration, everything looking very good. We finished inside the top 10 on mediums, but Lando also up there with us, so clearly we have a fast car. But Leclerc P5 on mediums in the Ferrari, that's a pretty ominous sign. Either way, practice time, we don't quite get maximum points, which is 480, but we still get a decent amount. But now though, it's time for qualifying.
Welcome to Jeddah Corniche, one of the fastest circuits on the calendar, but let's see who will be the fastest of them all. It's time to set the grid for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Yes, it's time for qualifying.
So we begin Q1 once again. Lewis suited up in purple and orange for this qualifying session. And I've actually gone out pretty late. I was a bit busy at the time, so I let the session kind of run along in the background while I was doing stuff. And yeah, currently, obviously last place, checkered flag has dropped. We need to try and get into Q2. Now we are up by about 8 tenths on P16 approx. Heading up to the line though, 27.8 to beat. We do a 26.9, I think that was, by the looks of it. We go P7, so we comfortably get into Q2, so we avoid any dramas and get the job done. And indeed a 26.9 was our lap. Russell setting the pace, 26.4 in the WhatsApp Mercedes, Lando third, and a straightforward Q1. No surprise eliminations as we jump into Q2. Beginning our lap, we go through sector 1 and we're purple, so now we're starting to really wind it up and get on the pace. Into sector 2 now, heading across the split. We're only marginally up on Russell, but Russell's P11, so he's done a 28.0, and then we're only less than a tenth up. So either I'm mysteriously slow, or my guess is Russell and Verstappen have tangled or something in the last sector, because Verstappen's down there as well. Let's find out. Making our way through the final corner then, up to the line, and it's going to be a 126.4 to go straight to the top. So Russell clearly getting tangled with Verstappen to do a 28.0. So job done for us, and surprisingly, George Russell got eliminated. He was the big scalp in Q2. He finished in P15 with that 28.0, unable to improve at the end. Now, I don't know if I missed it, maybe he DNF'd, I don't know, but a very surprise knockout. Russell, who did, the best time in Q1, which was my best time in Q2 at 26.4, didn't make it. So a surprise elimination as we jump into Q3. Bottas, the beneficiary in the Audi, getting into Q3. And we're now currently on our first flying lap in this session. Fresh starters on our car right now, so this is an all-out lap. Making our way up to the line. Our first one's going to be a 26.1. But we're 6/10 off Lando Norris, a 125.5 from our teammate, which you can see by my reaction, blew me away. So, is there 6/10 in that? I don't think there's 6. I mean, there's a bit of time, but we're going to find out.
And that's just 30 seconds left in the session.
Well, it's P2, and unfortunately we just could not lay a glove on Lando Norris. What an incredible pole time from our teammate. The main thing though is a 1-2 front row lockout, a convincing lockout ahead of Red Bull and Ferrari. So a dominant Q3, and unlike in Bahrain, clearly this track also seems to suit our car a bit better. So a 1-2, a great qualifying, but we now jump into the race.
It's one of the fastest races in the entire calendar. It's Jeddah, it's the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, and it's next. So let's take a look at a topographical map of the Jeddah Street Circuit. As you can see, a number of challenging corners for the drivers to master here. We'll see just how much the teams have benefited from their time spent in practice this weekend. And like many street circuits, this track has the potential to punish drivers that get it wrong. Let's hope we avoid any safety cars today. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. Lando Norris put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he will start from pole position. And Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Perez, Verstappen, Leclerc, Gasly, Sainz, Fernando Alonso, Stroll, Bottas, Tsunoda, Ricciardo, Hülkenberg, Zhou, Russell, Albon, Teo Porcher, Oscar Piastri, Ocon, and Ollie Behrman. And now it's time to head down to the track. Welcome to the commentary box. I'm Alex Jakes. Alongside me is Anthony Davidson. Well, they're having a better time than their teammates so far this year. How do you keep that momentum going? It feels like an obvious question, but I think everyone wants to know. At this stage, are you nervous or excited?
Probably at the start of a race, it's where your heart rate's at its highest in anticipation. And you've got to be in the right mindset. You've got to be thinking there inside the car, what can go right? How can I be opportunistic rather than what can go wrong, and how do I protect my position? Look forward and stay positive. It's easy to say, very hard to do when you're in that position.
Here we go then. McLaren front row lockout at Jeddah. Very good pace from Lando and myself in qualifying. We definitely have the measure of the field around here. This track obviously suits our car, and we had a super strong session. Either way, no point score for qualifying. It means nothing if we don't deliver in the race. Now, in this one, we're going to start on the medium tyres, but then going to switch to hards. A simple one-stop, no big surprises. We tried the hard tyre in Bahrain. It was okay. The hard tyre here is extremely durable. You can see it on the chart on the hard tyre side. The discontinuated dot at the bottom, how low that is the tyre wear. So it's extremely durable and it will last the whole race. If we had damage lap 1, we could probably get to the end on that tyre anyway. So yeah, either way, we're going to get into it, see what happens. Hopefully we have a good race, try and go for the win, and that would be a great result for us in our second race back with McLaren. So let's get into it and let's see what happens. Here we go. Race about to get underway. The AI just goes so slow. It's really hard to get tyre temp. We always have this issue. Luckily, we've got quite a long straight here to scrub these tyres a little bit. So I'm going to try and see if I can pass Norris and get a bit of a scrub on. Not a lot, but it will have to do. Hopefully we'll find temperature in the first sector. Anyway, let's get to it and let's see what happens. I want to go 10k revs instead of 9. That's been working better for me lately. Say that. Oh, it's a pretty poor start, albeit again, could be down to the lack of tyre temperature. Perez gets a fast start. Verstappen has a stinker. He's dropped way down. Both Ferraris up into 4th and 5th. Gasly ahead of Leclerc. So Pierre also making a statement in his second race for Ferrari. Lando holds the lead. So a new top 5 already on this opening lap of the race. We're going to see how we settle into this. We are very strong in the first sector where the corners are. Not so strong elsewhere, which leads me to believe we are a bit high on wing. So we'll have to deploy a battery and race accordingly. Right now you can see already a gap starting to form to Pierre. Of course, DRS enabled on lap 2. So we might even have a shot of breaking DRS here. Let's stick with Perez and Norris and see if we can have a little go. We've got decent VMAX as well, to be fair, as Perez derates. Gap now over a second to Pierre, and he'll be battling with Leclerc shortly. This is going to be one big DRS train fest, I think. Let's see, Perez, you can see there flashing again, quite early on the straight. Lap 1 done, now we've got a bit of tyre temp so we can go racing. We've broken DRS with the cars behind, so let's see how we progress.
DRS is being enabled this lap. We can use DRS when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
Perez can smell blood in the water, looking to get the lead from Norris, who to be fair, probably doesn't have a lot of battery left. He's flashing right now. Meanwhile, the Ferrari is battling behind, so there's going to be scraps everywhere in this race. We just got to be calm, be patient, and things will go our way. Perez 29.1. Let's see what he can do in clean air though. So now Norris is going to return the favour. This is going to be a lap by lap reoccurrence. Meanwhile, further back, I'm sure Gasly will also return the favour to Leclerc, but Perez actually keeps his nose up the inside of the last corner, so Norris not quite able to get through and get clearance, but now he will with DRS. Just got to wait for the right time to commit to this. Easy does it.
Okay, Lewis, Lando's ahead of you now. Right, here we go. Let's look to get past quickly and put them on the back foot.
I guess we now have an objective to aim for. Hello, Verstappen, up to P5. Max trying to get back through after a bad start, and you can just see how quickly a race can fall apart if you don't get into that leading group and you lose contact. Even if Max gets ahead of Leclerc, will he have the pace to actually pull away? Oh, wow, that's a big squeeze. Woo. Norris and Perez nearly having an airplane crash right there. That could have been brutal. These two are really going for it, battling really heavily right now. I'm just waiting, I'm trying to manage my tyres. I'm waiting for the right time to make the attack. Verstappen's just closing in a little bit, so I'm going to make my move. This is the lap, this is the time. Perez goes through on Norris. We're going to get...
the pit window now, and you're going to be on hards next time. Great stuff, mate. You hit the target well there. Nice one. It's a long way to go in this race, though, so keep your head down.
We're going to get the double toe and get straight through, and now we're going to use everything. We're super quick in the first sector. It's our strongest sector. We're going to try and break a gap, and we've hit the objective of passing Norris. And on top of that, we're going to box this lap. Oh, that's a bit wide. We're going to bring our stop forward.
Confirmed. We'll receive you at the end of this lap.
And I'm going to basically solidify myself in P1 and not get undercut. So we're making a move. Verstappen has dropped Leclerc, so he's quick. Very, very quick. Of course, Verstappen won in Bahrain, so we're reacting accordingly. Perez and Norris will likely go long on their stints as second driver choice, so Verstappen will probably pit early and undercut them anyway. So you can see we're not messing around. I can sense the danger, so we have to go. It's been a pretty decent in-lap, bit scruffy at times, but we've had enough battery and pace to pull away. So Perez and Norris will keep battling, but we're going to clear them, and we can now box for the hard tyre. A few laps earlier than what was planned, but it doesn't matter. Ultimately, the tyre is bulletproof, lasts very long, so we're going to safeguard our P1.
Up to speed now. Let's get some heat into those tyres.
Right. Good entry, safe entry. No need to risk too much. Into the pits we go. Good stop. No, it's a slow one. It's a really slow one. 4.7, and that's going to hurt because we are going to rejoin in a bit of traffic. Actually, we might just fit in this little pocket of space behind Albon.
Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now.
Don't touch the white line, but we'll just come out. Oh, right behind Ocon. I didn't want that. I wanted to be just in front. That will hurt us a little bit. Had we not had the slow stop, we'd be right behind Albon, about a second away. Lost about 2 seconds with that slow stop. Still, we'll get past here pretty swiftly. We've got a lot more pace than the Alpine, the new pink Alpine. Although the Alpine, pretty speedy on the straight. Ocon with a big old squeeze and a bit of a wiggle in the brake zone, but we go through and now we get straight back on it. These tyres should be fast enough on their own to maintain our lead. I'm expecting Norris and Perez in around lap 12. Verstappen's the one I got my eye on. Albon in the pits.
No tyre concerns at the moment, just focus on the driving.
Getting off those soft tyres, so one of the earlier stoppers. So that is going to give us a bit more free air, which is good.
Okay, Lewis, let's try and climb up the order if we can. We're setting you a new target. Push, push.
Yeah, that should be pretty easy, especially as cars should be pitting soon. Well then, cars in the pits, Verstappen's in, I'm pretty certain.
Oh, mate, great stuff. You hit that target. That sets us up nicely for the rest of this race.
Max at pit exit. We're going to get stuck behind Hülkenberg here. Verstappen still pit exit, and the gap is about 4 seconds, so good thing we got a couple of laps of undercut to kind of make up for that slow stop. Good protection, although Max now will be a net P2. Just got to wait here behind Hülkenberg. We're losing so much time. Oh, I can't decide what line he's going for. Oh, there we go. Straight around the outside. Max already gained like half a second there, but we're through.
Lando's coming in for his stop now.
He'll likely pit anyway, so we don't have to rush into this. All the remaining cars should be in on this lap. Hülkenberg has stuck with us, but he'll also be in, thus releasing Verstappen. We'll use a bit of battery here to get a slingshot from Zhou. So this should give us the race lead back, and we'll get an idea of what the outlay is, or the outlook for the rest of this race, regarding all of our rivals. So Verstappen, does he get second place? Yes, he does. But Verstappen just gets Norris on pit exit, so the undercut works. Bit of a snap there, but that's the race situation. Perez up to 4th, jumping Perez. Or Leclerc up to 4th, jumping Perez, should I say. If that's what I didn't say. Anyway, let's try and manage this race now. We've got the lead. Verstappen on the hunt. Norris v Verstappen is going to be the battle for the second half of this race. They'll probably cost each other time, and we'll be able to keep the gap, which is ultimately what matters here. We've got a bit of fuel trouble. We're going down quite quickly here, I've just realised. I'm going to keep pushing, until I burn it up, and then we'll try and manage it. Hopefully by then, my hope is that Lando and Max would have battled enough that we've got enough of a gap where we can manage and lift and coast. For now, they're not losing too much time, so we'll just have to stick with it for now, but we'll keep pushing until that fuel burns off. I left the car in hot lap mode as well to just kind of constantly be on the battery somewhat without using it up in case we need it.
Okay, Lewis. Right, we've got some clear track in front of us, so let's make best use of it and make the next lap a quick one. You got this.
That should be pretty easy.
Oh, great stuff. You hit that target. Really good job.
We're super consistent, doing 29 zeros every single lap, but we're about to run out of fuel now, so the last 7 laps are going to have to be fuel management. We've got 1 more lap of push. Right, that's it. Last lap of push. I've given it everything on this lap. We are going to go purple. Hopefully that will be the extra point. We can keep it in hot lap mode, which is good, but now we begin lift and coast. I am very quick, but I don't feel super comfortable in the car. You may have noticed I'm constantly snapping away at the wheel. The back end is very lively, especially in race trim, so I'm just kind of managing that a little bit. It's really helping though that the cars behind are just constantly knocking time off each other. It's allowing me to, you know, make small errors or not have the best laps and get away with it. So now we just have to manage from now until the end. Hopefully we'll try and get some fuel back, but it's really hard around here because the track is mostly flat. It's a really hard circuit to save fuel on.
Green flag.
Oh, who's that behind? I think Max and Norris are okay. It's a Mercedes. Sainz out of the race. Will there be a late safety car? Doesn't look like it. So we'll continue on our way. I'm able to save a little bit of fuel in these last 2 laps. Just a little bit. Obviously you can see the gap to Verstappen and Norris really coming down, but I'm using the battery to try and also make up for it. We're in the 1:30s, which is pretty rough, but that's what you've got to do when you save fuel around here. They're both within 2 seconds now, so we're going to have to get back on it. We've saved a little bit of fuel. 4 laps to go. Let's hope it's enough. We need to get back on the push. Oh my god. Got to be careful now. I believe we're on 2. Can't get another warning. Last lap. Gap 2 seconds. Norris behind. Can he stay in front of Verstappen? We're going to find out. Fuel for me is also marginal, 0.006. We're not home and dry yet. I've got to do a little bit of management. Just got to make sure we don't let them within my DRS. I'm trying to see if I can tactically maybe give Norris DRS for this next straight to keep Verstappen behind. Just like that. Might have lost a bit too much momentum there, but we've got plenty of charge to roll it. Big question is, did Lando get DRS? I think he did. I think he did, which is huge. Just through the final corner now. Verstappen behind him, so he's managed to keep him at bay. And that should be a 1-2 finish. So that was played to perfection.
Great job, guys. That's an incredible result for the team. Just shows all the hard work we're doing. Let's keep pushing.
The longest winner streak of his career is over. Lewis Hamilton takes the checkered flag.
The race victory and fastest lap as well today really shows the level of dominance that this driver had over the opposition. Dominance from the start to finish, and it's for the rest of the competition to try and catch them now.
Our drivers are making their way out for the podium celebrations, and it's going to be McLaren picking up the winner's trophy. Congratulations to the entire team for that fantastic performance.
And there we go, it's a 1-2 finish for Papaya, and not just that, Lewis Hamilton's first ever win in orange, and his first win on his return to McLaren for the first time since 2012. A great race. Pace was okay, you know, the fastest lap proves that, but I think the AI never really showed their true pace, because around here they tend to struggle in wheel-to-wheel combat and lose a lot of time battling. So luckily that was actually a really big plus for us, because we were able to save fuel and also help Norris of the line to hold on to second place, and we got the fastest lap, so maximum points for McLaren today. Verstappen third, Perez finishes fifth, Leclerc beats him to P4, and then your final top 10 on screen, with Carlos Sainz being the only retirement from the race. So standings after 2 rounds, we lead by 5 over Max, Norris up to third, and that is exactly what you want to see. Perez also in fourth. So right now, very much McLaren v Red Bull in both championships. The Constructors, 7 points is the gap, and then there's a bit more of a margin down to Ferrari, who get their first points of the season as well after a poor first race in Bahrain, the big fat 0 to their name. And yeah, there's your lot, guys, for Jeddah. Like, subscribe, as always. Shout out to the members for supporting the channel. As always, check out the 2 videos on screen, along with the links down below, guys, to my channel partners, sponsors, and affiliates. And yeah, guys, I'll see you soon for round 3. Take care, and let's go back from me.